Here's a facilitation tip on how to engage participants. A lot of our clients come to us and say, it's so hard to get people to get in the room and start actually talking when we ask that opening question. So here's some ideas on how you might do that. First of all, it's helpful to give people an opportunity to write things down. You know that we always talk about these introverts and extroverts in the world. And when I say introverts, I'm just talking about those people that like to think about their ideas, write them down so that they can then articulate those. Extroverts, on the other hand, are those of us who are thinking as they're speaking. The ideas have not fully formulated as they're coming out of their mouth, and that's okay too. But we want to give an opportunity to speak to both audiences. So in the beginning of a meeting, when you're going to ask that opening question, you might say something like, I'm going to give you all about 30 seconds to a minute, write down some ideas or some thoughts, and then we'll talk about those afterwards. That's giving those people an opportunity to do it, and afterwards you can simply ask the question, just tell us what you wrote. Or I noticed people were writing some things down, just share with us some of those ideas. That makes it easier for people to do that. Another way to engage participants is, when they're in a larger group, have them turn to the person next to them and share some ideas or thoughts. So imagine you're in a brainstorm, you want them to get some ideas out. Just say, turn to the person next to you and then ask your question. That might make it easier for them rather than raising their hand and talking to the entire group. Let me give you a final idea, and this is actually a technique that we got from Michael Wilkinson at Leadership Strategies. Great group, highly recommend listening to some of the things that they do. But one thing, very specific idea that they have, it has been really helpful to me. Let me give you an example. You're in a room and Bob has not been engaged at all in the process. You're halfway through the meeting, you have no idea where he stands. You don't want to call Bob out because that could possibly make things worse and awkward for both Bob and everyone else. So the way to do that is you want to focus on other people. Maybe Jill is 2 people away from Bob, and Jill is more vocal. You know she's going to have no problem offering an idea, so you might say, Jill, what do you think about this idea? Have Jill offer her thoughts. Then you turn to Jim, who's next to Jill. Jim, what do you think? And then you finally turn to Bob. Bob has been given some notice. He's had the opportunity to think about these ideas. You're finding out where he stands, and it's a little bit more comfortable to do that. A lot of other ideas on engaging participants. We'll probably share some of those in future tips, but these are a few practical ways that you can go forward and do that. Good luck.